Hi, you're with Scott.
You're with Aiden.
This is Emma, WhispersRedASMR.
My name is Tom and we're AsmrMachine.
Hi, it's John. It's ASMR time.
It's midnight.
It's midnight. It's always midnight.
It's always midnight.
It's always midnight.
That's my line.
ASMR is a lovely, relaxing feeling that you get often in the top of your head, and it starts at the top and it can travel all the way down your back and through to your arms and through to the rest of your body.
Where to start? Well, with my insomnia, I guess, because like many people, I find it difficult to sleep at night. And I tried everything from melatonin to meditation. And I was looking for a guided meditation video on YouTube. I was listening to it with my big headphones and trying to get to sleep, but it wasn't working. Through browsing in the little sidebar of YouTube, there was a suggested video by Laura Lemurex. It said Scuff Sound. I just clicked this, boom, headphones, ASMR.
Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing an SK video for you today. If you're unfamiliar with what this is, there are a couple of links I've put down below to a couple of people who have inspired me to make this video today. I'd say full credit goes to Heather Feather for recommending this. She has used this SK sound in a few of her videos and it works wonders for me. So I'd like to say in advance, thank you Heather so much for making these videos and helping me have a good night's sleep. So, let's start.
That tingly feeling, that rush that I got, that special intimate sort of down here on the back of your neck feeling, like a head hug. And this world of ASMR, the first video was Laura Lemurex, and then the second video that I watched, which really powerfully clicked with me, was a Heather Feather Sound Slice. And it was the Origin of Ska video. It gave me so many tingles, and I was able to close my eyes and follow her narrative and just drift off.
Hello everyone, it's me, Heather Feather. Today I would like to do another sound slice with you. I have on layers and layers of clothes right now. It's really, really cold. And I have slippers on too. And I'm in a new room, so the sound might be a little different. You might hear less echo in this room, or less reverberation. And you might also hear me walking because I'm wearing these soft slippers on a rug. If you saw me, you would probably, it looks like the State Puff marshmallow man with sweatpants on and black hair.
Heather used a special binaural microphone in that video, and I was intrigued by the sound. So I decided to make my own binaural dummy head and start my own YouTube channel as a conceptual art project.
And here she is. I've been recording with her for the whole video, so this is your right ear, this is your left ear.
I decided to crowdfund a film project that would allow me to venture out and meet other ASMR artists, to profile them and find out more about ASMR. The road trip project, with all of my delusions of grandeur, is not now a massive cinematic film, but yeah, we hang on, we had £500 and this is what we've done. So yeah, we made this film on a really limited budget, but I was grateful for every penny. The first place we went to was the south of England, right on the coast, Brighton. I was only able to make this film because of the help of the people that donated to the crowdfund and my good friend Matt Bell. He's a filmmaker and is responsible for all these lovely images that you're seeing. He generously gave up his time to work on this project for free, and we spent the whole £500 budget on travel, accommodation and food. ASMR is an international thing, but we're based in Britain and this is a UK road trip. This film won't explain the science of ASMR. I couldn't get an IMRI scan on the budget. Hopefully we'll show off some of the new wave of British artists and explain a little about the growing culture. I did manage to make some binaural soundscapes along the way, but my dream of meeting 10 ASMR artists in this trip had to be condensed down to 4. We travelled to the south to meet Aiden. Aiden's a media student and he makes ASMR films from his bedroom, which is something a lot of the ASMR producers on YouTube do.
Hiya, nice to see you.
Do you want to come in?
How's it going? Yeah, come on in, yeah.
I think there was this old tape we had, and it was Teddy Ruxpin. Do you remember Teddy Ruxpin? Like this, it was like that toy bear, and he had a TV series, and there was this one bit where they were putting together some kind of, it's hard to say what it was, but it was kind of, you know, they were like grinding things up, and there was no music, and it was just silence, and it was the noises that triggered me.
Teddy, I'm glad you wanted me to make this root stew. I was beginning to think that maybe you didn't like it.
And I remember trying to figure out what it was. Like, I remember muting it and watching it and seeing if I still got it, or shutting my eyes and listening to it and seeing if I still got the sensation. And I didn't get it either of those times, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and it didn't help me at all. But then when I found out what it was so many years later, I was like, oh my god, finally, like a name for this thing. Because you try and explain it and people are just like, okay. Like, I think if I'm describing it to someone who doesn't know what it is, I say, you know, nails going down a chalkboard, how that creates such a horrible reaction in your body. It's the complete kind of opposite of that. It's a nice sound, or just a sound that creates a positive feeling in your body. When I first found it, I might have been probably 15, maybe 16, I don't know. I used to know I got ASMR from, like, you know, those quit smoking tapes, like back when there were still cassette players. I used to listen to those, you know, like turn to side B. There was this man talking about making your body feel like a lump of lead, and it was just so unbelievably relaxing. I thought I should search for something like that on YouTube, and then I found relaxation videos, which led way to whisper videos, as they were at the time, and it was just whispering.
It's a bit gloomy here today in Wales. Very cloudy. There's no sun, but it's not raining, so that's something. Not yet, anyway.
I've been studying creative media. As a hobby, I was creating videos with a friend online. Like, we were doing little machinima pieces, and I realised very much that I liked doing that. For someone who's interested in media, if you tell them you can create a story and create emotion and a narrative and all you need is a camera, yourself and your imagination, then, you know, that's just fantastic.
Now, that is currently covered after the military found out about people trying to enter the facility through that way. However, it shouldn't be too difficult to disarm the security.
Personally, I think my favourite kind of video to do myself is role plays. I think I feel most comfortable doing them. It might be because I'm taking on a role and it's a lot easier to know what I'm trying to portray. The most popular role plays are definitely cranial nerve exams, eye exams. There are a lot of popular medical ones, bank teller role plays. The spectrum goes on, and really it's just people interacting with the camera like the camera is the viewer, and they do that in a relaxing, sometimes kind of exaggerated way in order to invoke ASMR. And it's just, there's a huge spectrum of them. People tend to mimic what they do in real life, like haircuts and things like that. I think that's a really big one, because there was that original binaural haircut thing that went viral. And it's like, if you shut your eyes, it feels like the person's there with you. I've had one of my, in fact, probably my closest friend, she found my channel because her boyfriend had ASMR and he introduced her to it. And she found me and was like, what the hell? But because she's such close friends, she was like, okay. She didn't really mind. She kind of was really cool about it. But no, I don't overtly tell people about it because I know that it's probably going to get a weird kind of reaction.
But I hope you're not uncomfortable.
I very much think that, I think the wording of ASMR, when people call it braingasms, I don't really agree with that, because I think, yeah, it grabs people's attention, but it grabs it in the wrong way, because people automatically assume it has to be something sexual, and it's not something sexual. Especially with mainstream media coverage, when they talk about it, they often try and make it out to be something like that, something sexual, when really it's just really innocent and really, it's just something just nice. For me, it can be kind of hard to figure out, you know, what I'm supposed to do to invoke ASMR in other videos, but obviously I do try sound assortments and just no talking videos and just ramble whispers and things like that, and I know that different things trigger different people, so. Some people being experimental for the time of doing sound videos, which is so weird to think of now, because that was considered experimental, whereas now experimental things are so much more than that. I know some people get ASMR from completely different situations, and it's just, it's completely mysterious. I don't think anyone's going to be able to get a hold on it for years and years.
It's ASMR road trip time. Yeah! Morning.
The next day, we were off to meet an experimental ASMR artist, so it was down the Wooden Hills and off to Bedfordshire. We were off to meet AsmrMachine.
Going that way.
Being a two-man film crew, there's a lot of stuff to lug about, but there's nothing I enjoy more than spending hours and hours in a car with my good friend Matt. Me talking away incessantly and him struggling to cope. After meeting Aiden, we went to see somebody who produces quite experimental ASMR. Tom is AsmrMachine, and he makes machines that make ASMR. I'd really wanted to visit Tom, the AsmrMachine, to see where he makes the machines that make the ASMR. Tom's a unique kind of guy.
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm alright, yeah. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Coming this way, yeah?
Yeah, you come this way.
Nice to see you.
Hey.
There's something Da Vinci-like about him.
This is basically where I'll do everything. For me, one of the first instances I can remember is like when people used to do that kind of hand thing, when they gently stroke your palm and inner fingers, and it's meant to make your hands kind of freeze and lock up, but for me it was just like really relaxing it was, and that's where one thing I can remember first getting it from. It's kind of like a sensation you get in your head and your scalp and sometimes down your back. So that is really nice and well, pleasant, should I say, nice. Yeah, tingly, that's how people often describe it, and it's Well, it's just nice, really. It's just how your body responds to the sound.
You've made a machine that makes noises to trigger the ASMR.
Well, I knew that tapping on surfaces was quite a popular trigger within ASMR videos, and I decided to make, well, a hand that would replicate that. So it basically does the same thing as what they do, except in the kind of mechanical form. This is basically mechanical hands, and mechanical tapping hands, shall I say. And these are the so-called fingers, which tap onto whatever surface you might have, whether it be wood, plastic, metal or whatever. And this is basically the mechanism that moves the fingers up and down and causes them to tap, and that's the motor on there that provides the motion for the whole thing. This one was actually modelled on my own hand, so the proportions are actually very similar to that of my own. Apart from anything, it's different. So one thing I like with this one, it will do it for hours and hours on end without stopping. Yeah, I mean, I'm at university at the moment studying music technology, but most of the engineering and electrical work that I do is all just self-taught.
So how did you discover ASMR?
Well, I first discovered it when it grew out of the Whisper community back in 2011, around about then, because I've been following the Whisper community for quite a long time, and yeah, I was really taken in by it. I thought it was really nice. And
what would you say the Whisper community was before ASMR?
Well, it was more focused on just general relaxation, really. The whole kind of idea of relaxing someone by talking to them has been around for ages. But I mean, the concept of whispering was like definitely a new thing that the community based itself around. So that's what it was.
So you've seen it change from whispering videos to general ASMR, then, yeah?
Well, yeah, I think the ASMR concept has kind of sprouted out from the Whisper community, although they're both kind of pretty much the same thing. So all one big community.
Are there any videos you keep coming back to?
Yeah, I've got a couple in my favourites list. I think there was one by Laura Lemure X, who did a personal attention one. Which I think is just spot on. I mean, it's just her talking into camera with no special effects, no nothing, but I think it's just right there. So, and there's a couple of others as well, such as one by Aurora Whispers. I think it's quite nice. So many good ones out there. I've wanted to create my channel for a long time, but it wasn't until I got back from a London meetup with a couple of people that I actually decided to start getting in there and making my own videos, because I was saying, yeah, I'm going to make a channel, yeah, I'm going to make a channel, and I thought, right, this is the time to start doing it, because I'd already told so many people I was going to make one, and in the end I did. So at first I thought, well, it's definitely not for me, I couldn't do that soft speaking thing, it's not my thing, but in the end I just thought, no, I'll just go with it. I mean, and you just become more and more used to it, and I think I don't have a problem at all making videos. I think it's really nice. Various things that can stimulate it, such as sounds, visuals like hand movements, and for me the big one is like personal attention and soft speaking. So I don't know what they all have in common. There must be something in common that makes them trigger it, but yeah, that's it's various kind of. I think it's just the way your body responds to, I don't know really, I mean it's just your body's way of kind of becoming more focused on it, that's what it could be, so yeah.
Who are these people whispering to each other? Why is that woman tapping on that box? Why is he rubbing a paintbrush over a white canvas? You know, what are these people into? ASMR to me is anything I want it to be, and it should be anything that anyone wants it to be, whether it's for relaxation or sleep or to just meditate, which for some is all of it. Although you can't see it, there is a pathway. I want you to follow the pathway down with me so we can get very close to this running water. Feel the grass through your fingers as we walk down this pathway together. And feel the warm sun beating down in your hair. See the cabin? We're going over the trees, a bit further on, up a hill, and then there's something that I want to show you there.
Okay.
This first one is of Markup Castle, which, despite its name, isn't actually a castle. It was built as a folly in basically a summer house, somewhere for a rich family to go and sit down and have picnics and stuff. It's quite high up.
Next, the road trip was taking us further north to Stoke to meet John. John makes ASMR videos on his YouTube channel, StarASMR.
I like the smaller channels. I'm not detracting anything from the bigger channels. There's some people out there doing some amazing stuff in their bedroom. I like a little bit of roughness to the sound as well. So some of my favourite videos have been filmed on an iPhone. My favourites are the cranial nerve examinations. I love them. I actually fell asleep this morning again. I was supposed to get up, I fell asleep watching one. And it's like a role play of like visiting the doctor, and they're just literally doing a medical test, and the more that are coming out now, the more technical they are as well. And from there, I guess watching these cranial nerve exams, I've actually gone and watched proper cranial nerve exams on YouTube because they're out there.
So it doesn't have to be someone making a video to give you ASMR, it could just be a video.
Yeah, yeah. The more boring they are, sometimes the more relaxing they are. And maybe boring's the wrong word. Maybe more technical. Maybe something that, you know, a process or an idea that my brain, because I'm not trained in that area, can't fully understand and comprehend. It is just the sound of the words, and that's how it relaxes me. It can be a great way to meet people and make friends. With Facebook, it's all about giving each other props. You're a friend of this person, so I thought I'd add you. And that's how I've met a lot of people, and through meeting them like that, I've found more channels and more people to watch. And then we've met each other in real life. I think in the UK we've had 3 different meetups.
Many UK artists become friends and meet up regularly to socialise.
Because I'll admit, I'm in it for the social aspect as much as anything. I've formed some very strong like friendships throughout the community, and because everyone's like really loving and caring, and I know a couple of people have even like formed I think relationships from the community as well. So that's another nice thing that I really like about the community.
God, I remember, I think one of the first few people I was properly friends with in the community was Jennifer Appreciate ASMR. She was just absolutely wonderful. She was so sweet, she was so lovely, and I don't know, it kind of all just, the thing about ASMR is it all kind of just snowballs until you're talking to so many different people, and now I know so many different people in the community, and it's just insane. It really is, because I'm, like, even if I create videos, I still just feel so much like a viewer, and it's kind of like, oh my God, I'm, talking to these people who I've watched all this time. And I know ASMR artists aren't necessarily celebrities. Like, obviously being an ASMR artist gives you that perspective that I think is important when interacting with ASMR artists. But at the same time, you have your own little favourites and, people who inspire you and who are just amazing.
With regards to Heather Feather, she's one of my favourites. She's one that I discovered personally right at the beginning of my journey with ASMR. And her videos are amazing. Her cranial nerve exams are amazing, and the ones where she is doing an eye test are brilliant. But there was a Google Hangout that happened.
What's a Google Hangout?
A Google Hangout is basically, it's like a conference call using it's like Skype, but a conference call version of it. So there's loads of different people all involved in the conversation. And randomly, Heather came in to the conversation, and it's really weird. I was kind of starstruck other people knew her and spoke to her so many times, and I was like, it's Heather Feather. She's in our hangout, you know. This is crazy. Waves are here, and
There's so many to choose from. They're all so good. So Money Heather Feather's pretty good, but I mean, I don't know who I'd say is my favourite there because they're all just so good.
I think probably one of my all-time favourite videos is Heather Feather's potion roleplay. She's got this huge book and she just turns it. She turns the pages. She looks for absolutely ages for something specifically, and it's just absolutely amazing. Like it's really low tech, but it does the job. It's so fantastic.
Love of material things. Sorry this is taking so long. Just let it go, okay?
Heather might not be the ASMR artist with the most subscribers. She's not been the most publicised. She might not have been doing it the longest, but she's many people's favourite. And she's one of my favourites too. Heather is both really natural and really imaginative on camera. Heather has heart. She's also got a really loving fan base, not just of viewers, but the ASMR producers themselves.
Hold the slate for me. Keep your head still.
She's prolific and dedicated. Heather's work seems to exude kindness. Heather still finds time to reply to comments and to give advice and encouragement to new artists.
Hey.
Heather is a star.
Show me your credentials. Here we are.
In my opinion, she's the fairy godmother of ASMR. And we all love Heather Feather.
I don't know why I do the things I do sometimes. It can be a mystery to me. I'm sure you can too.
There's Heather Feather, Olivia Kisper.
Great.
Excellent. ASMR requests, Ali. But there are also lots of other artists who maybe don't upload as regularly, but their voices are absolutely just out of this world.
Right. Everything seems to be okay. I'm just gonna have a look at your eyes. So, just look in there.
ASMR in my life. Ayla.
These aren't the biggest you can get, but the biggest one I've ordered.
John Shinobi Whispers is absolutely amazing. I just love him to bits.
That was a very good answer.
The list just goes on and on. Hello, my name's Emma and I am WhispersRedASMR on YouTube.
We'd managed to squeeze one more stop out of the budget. We were visiting one of Britain's most popular ASMR artists, Emma.
Throughout my life growing up, I used to every now and again say to people, you know, that nice feeling. And they'd say, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So then I stopped talking about it. But then when I discovered it and it became a bigger thing because it had a name, I was telling everybody about it. And so I learnt how to explain it. So all my close friends and everyone who knows me knows what it is. They didn't all know that I had a channel because I didn't at first I didn't want anyone to see it because I thought they'd see it and go, what's she doing? Not because it's weird, but because she doesn't look very nice on camera or something. I had confidence issues. But then I had an email from Loose Women on ITV, and at first I thought, well, if I go on something like this, then everyone's going to know. But as the channel's grown, I've thought to myself, you know what, I enjoy this, and lots of other people enjoy this. So I thought, I'm going to go on it and I'm going to tell them what it's all about and how I feel about it, and I'm going to show people how positive it is. I just got my feeling back, and I thought, wow, what's this? And the video was called ASMR, da-da-da. Yeah. So I then started going through, and basically it's people online making these videos to give people this feeling.
What you got, an auto what?
ASMR.
ASMR, which is what?
Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Right, so all of these kind of touching and tapping and quiet speaking are all kind of tuning into that.
10 months ago, there were 1,000 subscribers on the channel, and now there are just over 40,000, and I had nothing to worry about, absolutely nothing at all. It's everyone's impressed by it. They think it's a wonderful thing. Whether they get it or they don't, doesn't matter. It's a beautiful feeling, it's calming, it's relaxing, and if you are lucky enough to experience that feeling, then it's a nice little addition to your life, and it will help you to relax and stay calm when you need it. As a child, I used to get it. Well, it was just an everyday thing for me, always has been. And I used to get it when I went for an eye test. So when the optometrists, are they called? They would come quite close to me, and they'd be just here. It's nice. That feeling's really nice, and just, you know, the close attention, and I used to love having my hair played with by my friends. I've always had the feeling since I was a little girl, so I didn't necessarily discover ASMR itself. I discovered ASMR videos. I was looking on YouTube for relaxation videos. I think I put relaxation in the search bar, and up came a few different, meditation things, and then suddenly there was this video by this girl. She's just, the thumbnail was just her sitting there, and so yeah, I saw this nice girl, clicked on her, and she was talking about tingles, and when your tingles have gone, how to get your tingles back. And I thought, what do you mean tingles? And then I looked at the title and it said ASMR, and I listened to her, and as I was listening to her, I got the feeling. And then it came, I realised later on that that's what she was talking about. She was talking about the tingly feeling that I've always had, and it just went on from there. If there's anyone else in the house, they've got to be quiet, and the dogs and everything, it's really hard. So I've got a shed, and a very helpful dad. It's got soundproofing board and stuff, and a carpet on the wall, and I can show you if you like.
Lovely, yeah, let's go and take a look. Yeah.
Okay. I started with a camcorder and a Zoom H4n voice recorder, and had nightmares trying to work those. Took me ages. And then I wanted better sound, so I just felt like I wanted to go a bit more binaural. I wanted to do proper ear-to-ear videos, and I wasn't able to do that with these two crossing microphones. Then I'd obviously seen the 3DO around quite a lot, and I'd seen it when it first came out, and I thought, oh, that looks good. These artists were getting them, and I thought, oh my God, it sounds amazing. And that when they come up close and all of that. So yes, I changed to a 3DO, and then had to change my camera to fit in the middle of the ears. And it's gone on from there, really, and that's where I am now. I try to be, when I'm filming, I try to sort of be in the moment so that I'm not distracted by anything. And I know that it's an okay video at the end if I can't remember what's just happened, because I've just gone for it, and it's been natural. So I try to reenact real life situations because those are the best things for me. The role plays for me are exactly that, a reenactment of a day-to-day situation, which is perfectly natural.
Now that again would be quite a summery fragrance, I think. Okay, excellent. So, out of the men's perfumes, which would you prefer? You could go for one daytime and one for evening. Okay. Right. That's fine then. Just rearrange these. I like to keep a tidy ship.
The size of the ASMR channel with regards to subscribers and viewers is kind of irrelevant when it comes down to the triggers, and you know, everyone has their own preference, and sometimes a video filmed on an iPhone or a camcorder can be better because it's got a different feel to it. So whatever you're looking for with regards to your favourite triggers, and you know, and these change week by week, day by day sometimes, there's something there for everybody. And yes, it's not always about who's got the most you know, views and everything, so it's quite a vast melting pot of all different types of channels and ways of filming and different types of people who film these videos.
John and Yoko Ono, and there's 2 records in there. This one is Yoko Ono and Kiss Kiss Kiss, and John Lennon, just like starting over.
립 제품이 많이 없다고 예전 키스 사운드 ASMR에서 말하셨던 것 같아서.
I know you're probably thinking that this has something to do with the Joker, but it has nothing to do with the Joker, honey.
Just working a little bit to stretch the muscles.
3, 4, 5. And even now it's still faintly orange.
И нанесем складочку века, темный оттеночек, чтобы подчеркнуть глубину глаз. Закрой глазки.
So that's going to be that way, slope, that slope will be that way, so on and so forth.
But still maintaining your focus. That's very important.
Sì, oggi Stella.
This is Harley. Today's video is going to be an unintelligible whisper video. So,
Ramirez. Doctor Who, what a surprise.
What is it? Why? It's none of your beeswax. That's my monocle. Це буде перший АСМР повноцінно українською мовою. З трактуванням. Що є таке АСМР? Accept those feelings.
not deny them.
The easiest part of this question is the public part. Public sets the class so that any other class can access the main class. As for classes, classes are objects, but objects are not only classes.
Which I think is really smart for a bird to do that. I'm sorry, I'm kind of cracking up.
So I think that's kind of, like I said, the perfect amount. And I just kind of like smoosh it together. That's the sciencey term.
Albo krem pod oczy. Wybiorę jeden z tych dwóch.
It's very soft and very big.
I enjoy making the videos. They help me to relax. But mainly I get the satisfaction of knowing that my videos are helping other people. And I didn't realise when I first started making them that that's what happens, but it does. And it makes a big difference to people's lives. When I first started, it was just to be involved and to be involved in the community and make friends. And it's become so much more than that. I can't really explain how much bigger, but it's a lot more. And so yeah, you're making a big difference to people and having fun, meeting people, learning about myself. Having to actually see myself on camera has been a big step for me. I have more respect for myself than I did before. I've got more confidence. There's a lot of younger people coming up and getting into ASMR, and if I ever see them coming along and they want to, you know, they approach me, because quite often they do, they'll send me an email saying I want to start my own channel, and I just think it's amazing, and I say go for it and just do your best and don't worry about what equipment you've got, you know, just do it, because once you do it you'll get so much confidence in yourself and you'll find this other side to life that you didn't know was there before, and it's a really good thing for you. You'll grow because of it. So yeah, I always encourage other people to start because yeah, it's great.
So there's just one more journey to take on this road trip, and that's the journey home. We finished the road trip in a matter of days, but it would take a few months to complete the project. Once I got home, there was still quite a bit of work to do, recording and editing, until this film was finally finished. Be good, my little Pukkos. Be good. There's an aeroplane. It's not binaural, but you can still hear that, can't you?
In terms of the ASMR community, I hope it grows, flourishes and becomes more accepted. The more people that see us for what we are, people trying to help each other, the better.